Hello world, I'm back. Alright, have a confession. I couldn't sleep last night, but I didn't want to stream, and I wanted to work on the game. So I did about an hour of pixel art stuff off screen. I'm going to show a quick recap of what I did. Did a couple of things. So last session I made this little jet thruster effect. I went and turned it into a 3-frame sprite where I basically just shifted the colors up and down, kind of compressed them together as you go over. Same sprite, but I made it into 3 frames, put it in as a little animation so that now when the thrusters are going, it's got a little flicker to it, just loops. So even when it's stable, it's got that nice little flickering flame effect. Looks a lot better. I still don't have it toggling on and off properly, so it still flickers like that. But while it's on, it's got a little motion to it. Looks a lot better. I got rid of that swirly background nebula, and I made a Starfield image. Let me see where it went. Where'd you go, my Starfield? There we go. I made a Starfield image. I'll show it right here. Which is just the dark blue from my color palette on the background, and I used the spray tool to put some random 1-pixel dots on it. It was kind of blurry, actually. I think that's Windows. So put some random 1-pixel dots on it. Some of them are very light blue, some of them are very light red, some of them are very light yellow. Threw that in, and then let's turn it on. Oops. Put that on the parallax background so that when you're moving, you've got this Starfield thing now. Slowly scrolling just like before. But I did another thing, which is I made a copy of the Starfield that has a transparent background. Made another parallax layer and put that sprite in front. Made it slightly larger so that you wouldn't be able to tell it's the same pattern. And these look like closer stars because they're a little bit bigger. And now what happens is when I move, the stars slide past each other. Looks like depth. So now it looks like there's layers of stars at different distances and they slide at slightly different rates. This actually isn't... Oh, I actually tuned these values a little bit. Hold on. And it didn't save it last time. Want them to go a little slower. Hold on. This one is the... That's the far one. Go with that one at like 10 and this one at like 8. Maybe both at 10? Don't want them to move too much or they look close. Yeah, this. This is where I want it. So now it's subtle. The stars don't all move at the exact same rate. Here, let me actually make it slightly more offset. The stars don't all move at the exact same rate, so it creates that illusion of depth that some of them are closer to you than others. And they move slowly enough that they feel far away. I think they might be a little noisy, like they're maybe a little too big or a little too bright or something, and I want to tone them back a bit so that they don't add too much visual noise to the game. But it's still a good start. I'm going to leave it as is for now. So this is near, far. $14.10. Near, far, wherever. Okay. Oh, timer. Boom. Let's do it. Stole a minute. All right. So, I've got the fire flickering on my dude. I've got the starry background, and I did one other thing that was super quick, which is I made a laser beam. I was just using like a solid red sprite. Now I did something that has like a little bright stripe down it so it looks like a laser. And it uses the color palette of the game, so it matches the exact red that's showing up on the ship and elsewhere. So, whoa, that was crazy. So it looks about the same. It's not super noticeably different, but it just feels like it meshes a little bit more with the game world. So yeah, those were the three things I did. I did this star background, flickering fire, laser beam graphic. That was my extra hour of pixel art time. So now I'm going to do some more, because I ain't done. I'm going to try to do pixel art until like the 25-hour mark and then switch over to working on levels, maybe? A little bit more prototyping work on how levels work. But yeah, I'll jump back to that in a few. So, let's see where we left off. Where we left off on the ship parts is I hate the way the thrusters look right now. They don't read like thrusters. I was experimenting with this like fuel line idea, but I don't think that's working. I think I need to make them look more like a traditional rocket thruster, kind of, so that they are a recognizable shape. I think I went a little too weird with it, and you can't really tell it's a thruster. So, yeah, let's try it out. Whoa, spray tool. Not what I want. Alright. Get out of here, all you stuff. Let's, try this kind of slightly flared out thing. All right. All right, just preparing for the stream tonight a little bit. I'm going to use this let's make it look like there's a little raised up rim here, maybe. Just work our way up a gradient. I'm also a little bit feeling like I want all of the colors and all these sprites to be a little bit lighter than they are, but that's something I can revisit and mess with later. Step in, something like that maybe. Darker. Is the next step the dark blue? No. Let's try to not make those edges touch. Do something like this. Painting Warhammer, honestly. It's all the same principles. I'm just imagining I'm working on a Warhammer model mostly. No, it's a silly answer, but it's true. Just being conscious of how light hits sharp edges of things and how raised areas get more light than lower areas and stuff like that. But all of this stuff about color palettes and color ramps and gradients and things that I'm using here and this program I'm using to do this editing, I learned about in the last week or two from a really good tutorial I did. So I'm like considerably better at this than I was all of 10 seconds ago, but intuition on the highlighting and stuff is probably from painting Warhammer models. Let me see here. Maybe if I just take out all the red, let's see how this comes across. Let me see how this looks. Thruster. Not bad. Let's see that in the game. Where did that export? Didn't pop up where I expected it. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. I close some of my clutter. Well, actually, hold on. Right, what was I doing? Export. Oh, this should be going in the textures folder. Assets, textures. No, it's just not refreshing. Thruster. Oh yeah, I never looked up how to automatically set all these import settings to defaults. Might Google that real quick. I keep forgetting when I'm off stream. I keep having to set the same 3 settings every time I import a texture, and that's real annoying. No compression. Ship parts, thruster. Oh yeah, check it out. It's got a flicker animation on it too. If you didn't catch the beginning of the stream. Flickers. And it scales. 3 frames, baby. I'm having a mental block here. Because things are named stupid. That's why. Thruster. See how this looks. Kill this enemy real quick. Alright. Thruster. Thruster. Those look more like thrusters now. They got that big flared out thing on the back. I still feel like they could use something. Maybe it's fine that they don't have red on them and I just keep red to like weapons and things that are activatable. I don't know. Do the thrusters need another color on them? Or is this good? I'm trying to decide how I should use my color conventions. Like, should there be any red associated with the thrusters? And if so, what part? Like, should I do a little red right on the rim? Or should I just not have red on those parts? They look like just connector parts if I don't have any red. I feel like I want red to always indicate like the actionable part of a piece. Like maybe I do a little bit of red on the rim here. This isn't final, but I just want to... This can actually go almost all the way out, something like that. But then do like a rim? I don't know. I think that looks good. Something like that. I don't know. Didn't update. Refresh. I see it here on the thumbnail. Am I using the wrong sprite? I am. Nope, not triangle. It lost. Erg. There. A little bit of red splash. I don't know. Red right on the edge. It's so thin you can barely see it. I don't know. Actually, maybe adds a little bit though. I think maybe I like the red. Just the thin little red edge. You probably can't even see it on stream in the actual game scale, but maybe it needs a little bit more. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but put the rim back on. What do you mean, no red or yes red? Okay, yeah. I think this works actually. I just want to use the red to accentuate whatever the piece does, so that your eye can kind of go to the red. Dark blue rim 1 pixel up to kind of close it around. Yeah, okay. Still like that. Gives it a bit more contrast at that edge as well. Could also see, hold on, I have like a select tool here. Could also see shifting this whole thing up a little bit and then doing like, give my pencil back. Doing like that, so that it still has a dark blue outline around all parts of the ship instead of just having red all the way to the edge. Although I do have blue all the way to the edge on empty arm pieces, so. This is pretty similar. You know what, though? The flame is going to be behind that blue rim and look wrong, though. I think it goes all the way to the edge, and that's just how it'd be. Yep. That works for me. Good enough for now. It reads as an engine now. That's all I want. It's visually distinct from the guns, and I do like having just more red on the ship in general, just for aesthetic reasons. Get more splashes of red spread around because they look cool. Look at that. It's coming together. All right. And eventually I'm going to have the ship start with the cockpit and the engine behind it, I think. But I don't have logic in there for pre-building ships outside of runtime yet, so I've been kind of avoiding doing it. But I want the ship to start with a couple of parts on it, I think. Not just the teeny tiny cockpit floating in space. But anyway, it's pretty good. Should I do an asteroid? Let's do an asteroid, just because it's easy peasy. And we need an obstacle that looks proper. I'm going to do it... What size do I do it? I'm going to do it 64 by 64, I think. So that it's twice the dimensions of a ship part. Even that is still going to be a smallish asteroid. Asteroids are smooth because they got some gravity. They're not perfectly smooth, but they're smoothish. Whoops. Let's see. Paint bucket these. Whoa! Don't do this to me. Look, it's a cookie. Ah, see. See, you were all on about my art skills, and then I made this monstrosity. You just didn't wait long enough. Going to fill this really light for a second, because I would like to fill the whole asteroid for the most part with that color, and then give it the dark red outline. Whoops. Don't worry, it's not going to be this yellow and orange cheese color. I also don't mind if there's some variation to the thickness of this outline, I don't think. And then don't worry, I have a plan. Well, do I want a third level highlight around here? I may just want this whole thing to stay fairly dark to keep it from popping too much, because it's supposed to be kind of an environment object. But I don't know. Nice iron Oreo, isn't it? I feel like this side has just gotten out of control. Hold on. It's coming a little more like that. Come on, Oreo. Now, do I want any... highlights around the rim of these craters? Does that help or make it worse? Just see what they look like. I might need a color that's not as light as this yellow, but like an intermediate between the orange and the yellow. Does look a little bit diseased. Not gonna lie. I think in context with the other colors in the game, it might look reasonable though. I'm just gonna toss it in and see what happens. Maybe I look at it and I'm like, oh god, no. There's an ugly ass sprite. Why? The Roid. Let's check out the Roid. Hmm. It does look like a roid. It's so ugly. It's so ugly. I think it needs to be rounder, probably. First of all, it does look a little bit like a puffball or some kind of like organic thing. Let me kill those yellow edges and just do the orangey colors and make it a little rounder and see if it's just a bit less weird looking. These things a little more regular. There we go. I think that helps. Asteroids tend to be spherical-ish because they got some gravity working on them. Not bad. It's getting marginally better. Marginally. There we go. I don't know why I keep moving these files over. Replace the roid. Alright, slightly better space cookie. Still pretty bad though. The anus at the bottom, yeah. Yeah, it looks pretty bad. I think that orange color is too orange. I might need a gray section of this color palette. That kind of connects with the orange section of the palette. No, not the anus, as they say. Like, I don't know. How? Now it's a pizza. Now it's 100% a pizza. What does an asteroid look like? Does anyone know? Has anyone seen an asteroid? Yeah, I typed S. Yeah, I feel like it... Wow, thanks, Internet. Alright. Okay. They're kind of circular, mostly lumpy. They have like nested craters. Look at that. 2 big craters with light on one side, dark on the other. How come I can make a spaceship and not a rock? Why is the rock so hard? And riddle me this. The whole thing is kind of... They're always shaded on one side. Shadowy on the other. I think I need a darker color too. That's starting to look like it has a shape. Not gonna lie. I'm just gonna say not gonna lie a lot. Not gonna lie. And the crater holes tend to be... No. I'm looking at an example again. So the shadowy side should be kind of irregular shaped to follow the ridge lines. And then the craters in the light part should be dark, and the craters in the dark part should be almost invisible. I did this whole thing backwards. Hold up. This part should be the light part. This part should be the dark part. The craters in the light part should be shaded like the dark part. And this edge should be roughified. And then we can throw some other shadows in a couple of random places. The non-round holes kind of screw it up a little bit. Yeah. I think my color palette might be a portion of my issue here. I think I need some more neutral colors, but let me try this. How's that? I mean, it's better than that cookie, I guess, marginally. It's very bright around the edge here. Yeah, the edge opposite the shading usually has a pretty bright highlight on it. And that bright highlight also hits the opposite side of the holes. Okay, trying one more thing. Some shading in there, kind of a crescent shape. And then like a little bit of highlight up here where the light is hitting it the hardest. Look, I can't help if pizza's on a bagel, okay? Regardless of my opinions, if pizza's on a bagel, you can eat pizza anytime. It's just part of life. And it's just how the universe be. Okay. I think I'm about to move on and call this good enough because I lack the knowledge to do it better right now without spending a bunch of time on it. I mean, look at it next to the previous iteration, though. That's better than that, right? Right? Did it get better? It got better. It got better. All right. The roid is ready. Why did the roid get so little? The roid shrink-did. Okay. That looks like a roid. Probably gonna have to revisit it later with an updated color palette. Get some less saturated shades in there, but let's see. Where's my roid? Where's my old roid? There's my old roid. Old roid meet the new roid. The new roid, same as the old roid. That's a big roid. Big helps a little bit. Doesn't have the same pixel density though. Just kind of. Come here, Royd. Royd destroyed. Yeah, I need a different sprite material as well because now the flashes from damage are not visible on the things that actually have color applied to them. I was using all white sprites before. Keep accumulating little annoying tasks. That roid is too tanky. That roid should have 5 health max. Damn it. It's not a bowling ball. I hate everything. I'm just gonna do a whole bunch of these roids. The rest of this dev project is just gonna be obsessively redrawing the asteroid over and over and over. You know what though? I do need a bigger roid. I'm gonna speed paint one more roid before I move on. That is bigger, so that it has the right pixel density. I'll still use the little one. Time me. Time me. Don't time me. Okay, a little more forethought. Let's not be hasty, as the Ents would say. Perfection. All right. All knobbly shaped. More knobbly shaped than this. What's the most knobbly shaped asteroid? Should I do a long one? Or a triangle-y one? Or a peanut shaped one? Alright, we'll go knobs. We'll go knobblies. Please hold. Your knob is important to us. Asteroid. Yeah, the irregular shape with the shading applied might actually help a lot. But it'll be a bit more complicated. Alright. Blanc. Then, so the light kind of hits it like this. Get some highlights. Tell you how I really feel about space rocks. Hate them. Didn't hate them when I woke up this morning. Hate them now. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Bonk. Space rock. Hang on. I'm going to make this bright half go a little farther, I think. Maybe give it... Let's give it a big ol' hole. I think more size variation of these might make it work better. It's just a theory. Just a theory, not even proven. No. B is the pencil tool. I gotta learn these shortcuts. Look at that. Space rock. Pure class. Oh. I didn't do the dark outline on the edge on this one. I think I'm fine with that. Mm-hmm. Royd the deuce. Royd the deuce. Let's see how this cookie looks next to its partner. I did not export. Oh. Why did it do that? Alright, Royd 2. Royd. 1:1:1. 32 pixels per unit, 0 compression, and point filtering. Did I get better at drawing asteroids in the last 5 minutes? Yeah, I did. I think two things made it work better. One is the irregular shape, and the other is the... Look how the light hits them the same way while they're tumbling through space. Yeah, one is the irregular shape, made it look a lot better, and the other is the more variation in the shape of the holes, I think. This one was just too circular, so it looked really basic. Yeah, that actually works. That looks like an asteroid. Should I do like 2 or 3 more of these so that I have a set and then be done with them? I was going to move on, but I think I like that one well enough to plan to do them like that, and I'll just do several. in a row. I'll still keep the crappy cookie in there just for laughs, but and because this timeline isn't long enough to like undo progress per se, but I could do these real fast now. I gotta process. Space Knobbers. Oh, speaking of the name of the game, there's quite a few people watching right now. This game needs a name. Yeah. You're building a spaceship to blow things up, gather resources. There's going to be aliens that are like biological, organic aliens that are like freaky looking that will spit things at you, and you will be flying through a Space Hulk-like structure, fighting them, blowing them up, salvaging parts to add to your ship, and then occasionally pausing to build onto your ship. That's about as much plot as the game has, and it doesn't have a name. And we need a backstory. We gotta develop the lore of this world now. I've prototyped enough things. You've seen what the weird spaceship looks like. No, it's not Space Nobblers. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just haven't had time to think of a name. What's this one shaped like? I tried to make that one kind of the peanut shaped one. Ah, here we go. Shape ideas. Ooh, should I do a really long skinny one? Alright. Funky outlines was the correct answer. I can't remember who suggested that. I think it was Adam. But maybe I'm giving credit to the wrong person. But yeah, making them weird shaped helped a lot. Did Killian suggest it? It's whatever. You can share credit, it's fine. We're all a team here. Nope. Wrong tool. Need more chat space here. Nobbling some space. Long skinny one. My creative director of 6 years. Versus, huh? Go make your own damn game. Get out of my house. That's a dangerous suggestion, though. You might go do it. Then what? I will eat my words. Just thinking a little meta here that things will probably more likely impact the outside parts than get down into this little corner pocket. But the little corner pocket might just be more porous, so I'm going to do some like smaller holes down in here. Probably overthinking it, but feel like it would make sense to me if there were little holes down in the pocket and then some big ones out here. There we go. Nice little chunk taken out. 3 dimensions. Knobbler. Nobody wants to see your space knobbler. I'm speaking on behalf of the internet community, as though it's a thing. On behalf of the people of the internet. Am I spreading this highlight too far? No, I think that's okay. Probably. I just want it to look coherent with the other ones. Consistent. Maybe overdo it a little over here. Jim Newsman. He's here? Keep having to squint at the chat because I didn't pop out my YouTube chat. I have it on the overlay. It's my fault, not yours. I can see the messages, but not who said them because the names are really faint. So I have to squint to see. All right. Space Nobblers, go! I do need a game title, though. I was thinking something with like mod in the title, like Modularis, or if I want to go campy, like Starship Modularis or something. Or Galactic Nobblers. Who am I kidding? It's going to be Nobblers. It was always going to be Nobblers. Not sure if that highlight should be connecting across like that or not. Satan, Jim Newsman. Mostly Satan, let's be real. No. How's that one looking? Butamus. Glorifimus. Jubilus. I'm just making up words. Roid 3. These just keep on getting better, don't they? Leveling up at roiding. Don't compress my roids, man. These are like, you can see the evolution of the... You can see the evolution of the roid process here. As my confidence grows. And they get stranger and stranger. I wish I still had that first pizza cookie one. Look at this, look at this. Alright. We got roids, ladies and gentlemans. Big ones, little ones. The little ones much rounder than the big ones. Ugly ass cookie. Alright, I got another 1 hour worth of pixel art before I move back to prototyping and mechanics and stuff. So, what am I gonna make? I think these follow a reverse, like I feel like bigger asteroids should be smoother and smaller ones should be jankier, and I did the complete opposite. That's why the little one looks so bad. I could just turn off just have a smooth one and a janky one. The little cookie doesn't need to be in the game. Get out of here, asteroids. I need collision damage to be a thing, too. Gimme guns, gimme guns, gimme guns. Alright. I should put flames on the little thrusters as well. Let's get the jet off of the ship. Where's the prefab for that? No, I didn't want to open it. I wanted to select the prefab. There it is. This thing. And I'm going to replace that with this. And this is going to need to be smaller. And the proper way to do that is actually to change it in the pixel art, so I'm going to do that real quick. See if there's a quick way to just Compress this down. Take the dark part of this, shift it up. Nah. Shift the whole thing up. Shift the whole thing up. I see, I gotta stop 1 pixel short and go like that. In, and trim off the end. Then this one goes 2 pixels up, compresses in, presses in, trim the end. Smaller jet should have a similar effect. How's it look? Oh, can't animate it. Export as. Where did that export to? Export. Small. Point filtering, no compression, and sprite editor. Set this to be a multiple sprite. And then gonna do pivot in the top. Three columns, 1 row, pivot in the top, delete existing. Apply. Okay. See if that worked. Okay. Yep, it is certainly smaller, marginally. I probably didn't shrink it enough. Maybe I have to do another pass the same way, but it's okay. Get to it in a minute. It'll be easier now that I've got it hooked up and I can just re-export. This needs to render in the background. So that it's behind the lip of the ship there. Okay. Let's put thrusters on here. See how they look. Can't even tell they're smaller. Maybe this isn't applied yet. Let me check that it's applying the right sprite sheet. They look identical, but maybe I just shrunk them by so little that you can't even tell. Really didn't do enough there. Yep, that is using the small one. Those are smaller thrusters than the primary one. But you cannot tell. Okay. Yeah, I can see the difference here in Unity. It is subtle. Alright. I'm going to shrink them some more. I'm going to do another shrink pass. Shift the whole thing up one and just compress it in. Figured out the technique now, so this should be really quick. This whole approach is the lazy way of doing this, but shift it all up one, press it in, press it in, press it in, trim it, shift it all up one, press it in, press it in, trim it. Export as, small sheet. Okay. Let's try it now. Thruster. Thruster. These are not using the smaller thrusters. I keep making them smaller and I can't see a difference. I think the animator is, hold up. The animator is using the old sprite. I gotta look at this. Thruster, animated sheet. Yeah, this is using the old sprite animation. So as soon as I hit run, it's flipping back to using the big sheet. I have to create an animation. Call it jet cycle small. And Move the old one. Try this. I said mostly Satan, let's be honest. And then you were gone. Thruster. 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 Please be little. Yeah, small thrusters, big thrusters. Look at that. We're a proper starship right here. Whoa, my lasers are too slow for the speed of my ship. Alright. Well, that's a separate problem to address. I'm catching up to my own lasers. Starship problems. If I fire a bunch of lasers and then accelerate really hard, I can catch up and pass them. Mostly Satan, indeed. Look at that. Look at those thrusters. It's looking pretty cool. Right? Right? Woo! There were thrusters before, but now there's big ones and little ones. Alright. I gotta make the lasers travel faster. Shorten their lifespan, up their speed. Or just shorten their lifespan. 50. Do both. It's just no accounting for having a super duper fast ship. Big and little thrusters. We know all about little thrusters around here. No. Never mind, I take it back. Can I catch up to my lasers anymore? No, I cannot. Okay, that's good. The lasers travel a little faster and they die off screen instead of hanging around so long. Good, good, good. I feel like I need a little targeting reticle around the mouse. Like a little animated cursor thingy. How do you make a game? Can someone tell me? I have a fun spaceship, but this whole making a game part is tricky. Alright. Should I make Alien? There goes a homing missile. Actually, I should make a spray for those homing missiles because they look really funny. And it would be fun to have a spray for them. Should I make a homing missile sprite? I'm going to do that real quick because that's a fun one. Fun and easy. New. I'll do it in a 32 by 32 box, but it's going to be smaller than that. Hold on, I need a space heater. That's a little loud. The basement is freezing. You know what? Can you hear that space heater over the stream? There. It was rattling really bad for a minute, but then it stopped. That's a, don't call Russ a space heater. Russ is making me freeze to death. Because he wants the door open or he barks. So I open the door so he can go hang in the yard, and then the basement becomes friggin' refrigerator. The dog's trying to kill me. This is a chess cheating device / homing missile, right? All right. Whoops. It is some kind of device for sure. I'm going to make this look exactly like the thrusters on the back of the ship, actually. You know, thrusters on the device. What did we do on the ship? Then we did like a dark outline around the back of the... Yeah, that was kind of what it looked like right there. Something like that. And then... around here. There we go. Something like that. And then... every proper homing device has like a red tip, right? Missiles always have a red top. It must be pointy. No. Something like that. I don't know how much blue I actually want on it, though. Cheating, huh? Let's just start with this. I'm worried it'll be a little bit too dark colored. Like maybe I want it a bit lighter, but I'm gonna toss it in, see, and I can come back and lighten it. I'm calling it homing device. No. Homing missile. Where's that homing missile? I have to stop and Google something for a minute. Please hold. Can you set default import? Change default import settings. Click presets, save current to, edit project settings, add default preset. Good lord, there's a lot of steps. Okay, we're doing it. We're doing it because I'm so tired of doing this. Time to bite the bullet. Click the presets button. Presets button, save current to. Then go to edit, project settings, add default preset, search for texture. Is it texture importer? Probably. Texture importer in the filter box, type whatever. Is that it? Is it fixed? If I import a new texture now, is it gonna have the thing? Pitchfork-like prongs. I already have pitchfork-like prongs on the laser gun. Alright, so now when I import textures, they should automatically have those settings, I think. Let me try exporting a sprite real quick. Refresh. Alright. Look at that. Pixels per unit 32. No compression and point filtering. I just saved myself 500 hours of development time over the next 10 years. Alright. Homing missile. Deleted. There's the homing missile. Doop. Render in front. Get rid of this rotation. It is too dark. I think it needs to be brighter and probably mostly red with little touches of blue. But I can get to that. Homing missile. Why did it not go in at... Oh. Okay. 111. Homing missile. No tint color. Way too dark. Player ship is probably too dark too, in general. But what can you do? Here's a bunch of homing missiles. Here they come. Oh yeah, they are invisible and super tiny. Hold up. So here's one thing that's weird. Oh. I didn't set the import settings on these. get to do this one more time. I fixed it all after I imported them. There we go. Bigger missiles. Bunch of missiles. I'm going to put little flames on them too next. Here's a bunch of missiles. Put them over here. Hit run. Well, they immediately crashed into me. All of them. Please hold. Here they go. Watch them, watch them, watch them. Alright. Let's spread them out a little bit. I'm going to go brighten these up, then add little jets on them as well. Let's go. Oh, there they go. There they go. They're homing. They're homing. All right. Safety protocols are for chumps. If and you ask me. Alright. Maybe I'll keep the dark outline. Just make this inner stripe a lot brighter. Let's take all of the red colors, kick them up. Let's start with this as the base red, go up a couple steps. Whoops. Like that. Whew, yeah. Those pop a lot more now. That's how the player ship should be, probably, with that level of highlighting. Yeah, now you can actually see them. So much better. Okay. Let's Let's watch that again. I dig it. Thrusters for them. Let's do 3 frames with just tiny little thrusters. Like that. Let's do this row mostly bright yellow with 1 step up. The next row mostly that step with step up. The next row 1 step up. And the last row I think I need to shift this all up a little bit so that these can be a little longer. I want the center of mass of the missiles to be in the middle so that when I swivel them on their pivot they look right. Although I could move the pivot, so I guess that doesn't matter too much. Let me try to do this like this. Just bump it up 1 pixel for now. Try this again. Fine. Shift it up 1 more so I get my whole little color gradient down here. Let me draw. All right. I messed up my pattern. Okay, hold on. Oh, I also inverted the pattern. These should be brighter on the inside and darker on the outside. There we go. It should work like this. There we go. Like that. Oh, it's pretty good. And then... oh, all of this was frame too. How do I create a duplicate frame? just do new frame while having one selected, I guess is the answer. So here's frame 1. Frame 2. Could just be like that. You know what? Probably only need 2 frames of animation for this. That's probably fine. Oh yeah, look at that. That's totally fine. It gets the job done. Export the sprite sheet as rows. Export. Where did that go? Didn't ask me where I wanted to export it. Did it show up in here? Nope. Where did that export to? Oh, it just opens the sheet in a separate file. Then you export it from that. Okay, cool. Sprite editor. Let's do this as multiple sprites. And apply. Slice. 2 columns. Easy peasy little animation. Where are the pivots? Center? Okay, that looks right. Okay. I want all these to have an animator on them that uses that homing missile sprite sheet. Let's just make one. It's got an animator on it that uses the sprite sheet. That should just work, I think. Where's my missile? Come on, missile. Look at that. Beautiful. Duplicate, scoot them, do more of them, duplicate, scoot them, duplicate, scoot them. Alright, let's just fire 1,000,000 missiles. Here they go. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. Nice little homing missiles. Oh, one of them's still going. Yeah, they don't really miss, do they? They're big. Those are some chunky missiles. Let me see them one more time. Actually, I'm going to enlarge the game a bit. Maximized. There they go. They're crashing into each other a lot. I think in general I need to zoom the camera back too. I've been playing the game in this little thumbnail view and I zoom it in so that things are big enough, but I need to set the default camera view further back so that you can see more. There they go. Silliness. I still don't love the way they move, but it is fun to watch. Nice. Alright. Got cool looking homing missiles. I think I'm going to add a missile pod to the ship pretty soon too. How's my time? Got 6 minutes till my switch from art to levels break, so I think instead of starting a new thing, I'm going to pause the timer, save the time, come back to this tomorrow. If you've been watching, thanks for watching. We are going to stream Blades in the Dark, a tabletop RPG with Craig Shipman from Third Floor Wars tonight, so if you want to watch us roleplay in a dark fantasy world, come check it out. It's posted on the YouTube schedule, so